Hey guys, welcome again. This video would be a short one, but will describe a famous principle or a tool or a matrix, and we will see how to use it in software development, especially to focus on clean architecture. A bit of history. So, this is a quote from a speech given by Eisenhower in 1954, who was a US president and achieved numerous achievements in his life, a very productive person. He said that I have two kinds of problems, the urgent and the important. The urgent are not important and important are never urgent. What he's trying to say that it is very easy to get distracted by tasks or problems that may seem important and urgent, but block our view of things that are important in the long run. So he said if a thing is urgent, it is not important. And it is important, and if it is important, then it should never be urgent. It is true in the software development world also, as we will see. But of course, we also do get things that are urgent and important. But the whole point of this principle that I will show you is to avoid reaching that area where things are urgent and important, because that can be a vicious cycle that will never. Now, this is a matrix that I was mentioning where we have labeled the top as urgent and not urgent, and left as important and not important. And this lead us to four cases that can occur. The first one is urgent and not important, important and not urgent. The second block, similarly, the third and fourth are urgent, not important, not urgent, not important. I have also mentioned some examples that can come in these four scenarios. For example, urgent and important are super priorities like production fixes, unknown problems that may arise while doing a development. The second I have highlighted as a green box. It is the most productive area. That should be our end goal, where we can focus on things like clean architecture, clean coding that can help us in the long run. This is important but not urgent. The bottom blocks I will just mention briefly. For example, the not important and not urgent block are basically distractions that we should try to avoid or cancel. These are not necessary meetings, never ending talks with our colleagues, etc. The urgent and not important blocks are things that are not important from architecture point of view, but it could be small features that we need to deliver, minor fixes we have to do. We should try to delegate these features if possible to new developers or persons who are still learning, or we should reschedule it for later. Now, I will not focus on these two because these are not much of a problem. The biggest problem is the first block where things are urgent and important. So let's look into this one and see what's the problem. So, what happens that managers or developers sometimes, by mistake or intentionally, swap quadrant 3 where things are not important but urgent with quadrant 1 where things are important and urgent. So they do planning in such a way that they give importance to things that are not important, sometimes intentionally to deliver faster to impress their higher ups. When things are in third quadrant which are not important becomes important comes to first quadrant. And first quadrant is like super priority as you just saw. Everyone should work on. So this bad planning lead us to ignore clean coding, clean architecture so that we can deliver it faster, uh, because those are urgent and important. And when we ignore clean coding and clean architecture, uh, we will get issues and architecture problems that will hinder us to deliver features faster in the future. And again, this when we are not able to deliver faster, uh, we things will become urgent again and we will have planning mistakes again because we have to deliver something, but because of the existing issues, because of the existing architecture problem, we cannot deliver faster. So we will again have planning problems. Things will become urgent. Now, this is the biggest mistake that we should avoid. Planning is important to avoid this cycle. Now, there are chances that we will get unknown things or unforeseen things. So, we should always keep a buffer in our planning to tackle these unknowns. If we will handle this, it would be easy to break out this cycle and have time to focus on second quadrant, which is important. So, this was the first block that we should try to avoid. Now, lastly, what should be the priority of the tasks? Of course, we should give priority to important and urgent tasks, but try to minimize those. Try to avoid or try to plan in such a way so that tasks will never reach there. So that we can focus on the second most priority item, that is clean coding and architecture. The long run, this will be the most important one. I would say the first important one, but when developing a product, you have to deliver good also. Then comes not important and urgent, and lastly, the distractions. It is a bit hard to use it in real life to arrange your tasks around it, especially at the start, as you have to categorize them using this matrix. But the better you do, the best results you will get. Thank you again. Please subscribe again for more upcoming